Are we up and running? Did we make it in time? Ohayo gozaimasu. Nanda nanda nanda. Giri giri. Kyou no Nihongo no benkyou. Giri giri という言葉。Good morning, everybody. Okay, let's get this camera. Part of the panic today is because it's been so long since I've been up here on the third floor. All the components, the different cameras, the outside camera, the stand, the tape to put it in, the exchange box, they were all scattered all over the building. I spent the last 15-20 minutes trying to assemble all the parts for this stream. Okay. We're here now for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever. We're here on the second floor. It's going to be printing, printing, printing. But actually today, it's not printing. The wood blocks have arrived. And if we have time, we'll have a look at them. But before that, we have an extra job to do. How long has it been since you saw one of these? We used to get these, of course, from Kubota-san once a month. We no longer do, but in their place we have today Suri Hon K 210枚です。よろしくお願いします。Kawai. Kawai-san, another one of our printers, she lives in Nagano Prefecture. She has stepped up to the plate. And before, Kubota-san used to make 200 prints for us every month. She made 120 or so. And other staff here made different prints. With Kubota-san no longer able to do this, Chiharu-san has stepped up the amount of prints she makes each month, and she now does the first batch of 200 prints each month for the subscription series. Then the staff here, myself, Ishikawa-san, who's actually here today behind me, and Ayumi-san, we step in and we make the other 180 or prints, whatever that we need each month to do this. So in the old days, we used to open a batch of 200 prints from Kubota-san. And now, instead of that, we have 200 prints from Chiharu-san. Look at this, me, Ishikawa-san. すごい有名でしょ? 3本210. Incredible. I can no longer do this kind of thing. No. In my day, when I was doing the Surimono albums, I did. Each month or 5 weeks, I did a set of blocks, tracing, carving, sat down to print, and I made 200 plus prints in one deck every month. But that was a long time ago. Could I still do this? I don't know. Anyway, Chiharu-san is younger, she could do it. So today's job will be, we've got to inspect these prints. Not that there's much to inspect, but at the time we sent her the block set, the title for this print hadn't been decided, and we didn't have the embossing plate for putting the title on this at the time we sent her the block set. So she has made the prints, she's finished the prints, she's got her name and everything on them, but they don't have a title. Our Ome staff are waiting because these are supposed to be shipped September the 1st. So my job today is to put the title on. I'm sorry, ignoring the chat here, ignoring. Karen's here, I thought she was going to be off today. The unveiling, the 8th print in our series. This is the one that should have been scheduled to go August the 1st, but with the 1 month postponement in July, it slipped back to September. It's a kind of a quiet print off into the distance, and it offered a whole bunch of challenges for us on this. Atelier Sento gave us a basic color breakdown, which we sort of followed. But as far as the printer, as far as making colors deeper or lighter, in a normal print, a normal design, imagine the bottom of this. You've got a scene, you've got items close up, items in the mid-range, and you've got a distant mountain. And the mountain is the most distant thing. So you do your color depth, whatever, trying to make it all balance with close-up objects and distant objects. But the mountain isn't the most distant thing. It's only halfway down. We have a much bigger, farther distance to go beyond that. So when I was doing test printing on this, I really struggled with how to do this. And whether or not we've succeeded, I don't know. There's these row of huge lights in this vast cavernous space. I don't know if Sento and me and Chiharu, if we've really got this right. But I think perhaps this might have been mission impossible. Start with close-up flowers, go to a mid-range, go to a building, trees, and a mountain in the far distance, and then you're still in the foreground. Behind that, you go to another foreground and then way back. And I have no idea. No idea, no idea. Anyway, there she is. My job today is to put the embossing, to put the title on. Questions. Someone's asking about the flea market and shopping and stuff like that. The best thing for any questions is just drop it. info@Mokuhankan. Drop an email. I know Sam will answer you. Can I answer this myself now? If there is a print I would like, could I purchase it now and hold it there? Yeah, of course. We're holding shipping for everything. We're holding a lot of the subscription print shipping. People have paid and we hold. No problem. But the tariff nonsense is going to be behind us. I don't know. Okay, my job now today. Let's get these titles on. And I see right away, they've given me the plastic to do the title, but the board is too small and I don't have tape. Let me go grab another board, just one sec. This board is too small. I don't want to have damaged the edge of the print on the board. Let me go grab another one, one sec. Oh, what's this? I got that, excuse me. I smashed it. Okay, today. We have stuff today. We have this job to do. It's not all that interesting. We have video. We have video from Echizen. It was a fun trip. Learned some stuff, had some free time. We have video from Echizen. Let me get this job started first and we can pull up some of it. We learned a few things, we discovered some things, and the content of the next YouTube video became clear during the course of this trip. We've done 3 parts. We've done 3 parts of that Washi video series, and I wasn't sure what the 4th part would be, but it has now become clear. There is a dynamite theme for the 4th video in that series. And we got a tease today. I'll show you a bit of video in a few minutes. Paper news drama. Nope, no drama. Swimming news today. I can report I got a 0 on my report card this morning. Very, very happy. It's been quite a while, a long, long time since I had any numbers on my swimming report card. I don't know, I've said a 0. I don't know how much I've updated you on this. The lady who swims in the same lane with me, she has been absent for weeks. And it wasn't just me, somebody else was asking, what do you think? That lady hasn't been here for weeks. Do you think she's quit? And other people said, no, it's summer holidays, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I just sat there quietly. I don't know. She came back. She came back. She was here yesterday, and she was here again today. The pace car lady is indeed back. Yesterday, we didn't get a score. The score being this. She gets in the pool before me, because all the ladies always, they wear their swimsuits on the way to the pool, don't have to get changed. So the ladies' side, they're already in the pool by the time most of us guys come out of our change room. I get out there about 7:03. So my pace car lady and the fast girl in the next lane, she's already there and running. So what I do normally, we've talked about this before, I wait till she gets to the other end. Maybe she's already done a few courses. I jump in as she's at the other end, and I try and time it. And in the very, very rare days where she doesn't lap me, it's a 0. She didn't lap me. If she laps me once, it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3. And I think on 2 occasions we've had an equal, where not only did she not lap me, I kept pace with her and she didn't gain anything. By the time I'd finished 40, she was at the other end, I was at my end. We were still like that. That's extremely rare and will only happen on a day where I am feeling like my personal Superman and when she must be having a real off day. So today when I say I got a 0, will there ever be a -1 in my dreams? Not going to happen. We're talking about tariffs and stuff. I know we're of course following this, very much following this. There are previous rules that were in place, different kinds of products. Artworks were this, artworks were that, this was that. It does seem, as far as we can tell, that all the previous rules, what's exempt, what isn't exempt, all that sort of stuff, that's been blown away. It's now just general goods, consumer goods. We, of course, use the correct tariff numbers. Our goods are going as the relevant artworks, etc., but it does seem like it doesn't make any difference. They just go in as general goods for consumers. And because we're Japan, when it settles out, it's going to be maybe 15%. But what is much more scary for us is that it's not just the tariff percent, there's a per item charge per package. And in Japan's case, that seems like, because the tariff is 15%, we fall into the group where they are going to charge $80 per item. And we don't know whether item means package or item means object inside the package. We don't know. So, where's my knife? Where's my knife? Ishikawa-san's moved the knife. Who moved my cheese? Ishikawa-san, knifeをどこ行っちゃった？髪を切るための。カッター。はい。ちょっとだけ今ジューシーを作ってるところですけど。Okay, double-sided tape. Sorry, I really should have got this part ready before the stream started, but just simply absolutely no time. It's been chaos, 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 chaos. We've never, ever, ever been busier than things are now. And I say we, I mean me. Yesterday was a sizing day. I also glued up a whole bunch more blocks yesterday. Also, I think some of this is things I can talk about or not talk about. I don't know. We had a visitor yesterday, really, really, really interesting gentleman from England. And this is not the first time. A few years ago, a British gentleman came in, and it turned out he was a conductor. We may have talked about this at the time. He was living in Berlin, conducting, and he was here in Japan for a concert. And he was a YouTube fan, so he came in and said hello. Because I had some previous experience in music, and very peripherally I conducted amateur groups, I had an interest in this. And yesterday was a similar experience. A gentleman came in who is a conductor in Britain, and he's here for a concert. And I don't have a link for you, but there is a link out there. If you Google Hiroshima, Benjamin Britten War Requiem, if you Google that phrase, you should find some information on this. He's here to conduct a massive concert that's being held next week in Hiroshima. And I guess I didn't realize it. There's a sort of a concert hall. I guess, is it the Peace Hall? I'm not sure what they call it. There's a concert hall located in the visitor information center there at Ground Zero. And the concert is happening a couple of weeks from now, with a large symphony orchestra and a chorus group that's coming from England for the concert. And he's here to conduct it. Somebody got a link? I didn't find a link yet, I'm sorry. Has somebody got it? Thank you very much. The link you've got about the $80. So this is our big question. Does it apply to the package itself, or does it apply to the goods inside? Because what Mokuhankan here, what we are planning, to change topics here, to go back to the thing for the American shipments, what we're planning, of course, is we are going to group all the subscription prints for Japan would go in one large box, would go by FedEx, which doesn't have the same rules as post office shipments. FedEx knows how to do customs. They've been going for years. Nothing has changed with this. The new rules are about post office shipments and de minimis on post office shipments. If we put 100 prints for 100 people into a FedEx box, do the customs brokering, it will have a tariff, a duty applied to it, but not the $80 charge which is being applied to the post office. So we would then ship the goods by FedEx to somewhere. Oh, sorry. We would ship the goods by one big FedEx box to somewhere in America, and somewhere that person would open this box, put the USPS labels on, and put them in the post office. Uncle Sam needs you. We're going to have to figure out somebody. In the old days when Corona came, Jed-san did this for us because he had a shipping system built up. But it ended up causing him quite a number of tax problems. Anyway, we've got to get some work done. This is a test. I think we are good to go. Let's do this. Okay, what we have is a polymer plate. A polymer plate with the title embossed on it, and it's raised lettering. And it's hopefully in the right place. Let's do this thing. Stack of prints goes in front of me. With an outbox to the right. It's looking good, but it's a sliver too low. She took the knife again. 今使ってる? Knife. ちょっと、ごめん。ちょっとだけ切りたいんですが。But I need a ruler. She's taking the ruler as well. 短い定規も。短い定規は? だから。Where is it? It used to be sitting. It used to be here. So one cut, only one cut. Okay. Thank you. We're too poor to afford 2 knives. All right, thank you. Okay, people are joking. I can work the shipping, I can do the shipping. What we need, okay, just to outline this, what we are going to need is this. A location to which we can ship the goods. That's number one. But the person over at the other end, of course, has to then take these 100 prints that are in the big box and put them into the USPS system. And what that means is you've basically got to have the USPS software. So we would send a CSV file, you import that into your post office software. You know, the USPS has a charge system where you pay them in advance, a couple $100, you've got their software, and you print out labels to put on packages which you dump into a mailbox. So you would need to be set up with the USPS this way. We send the CSV, you import it in, and you print out all the labels, put them on, and you pay the post office. And we, of course, pay you all the charges for doing this, plus your money. So it's not so simple. But the other part of it is too, the reason we had trouble with Jed when we did it this way some years ago during Corona is because the tax people, he's in Utah, and the Utah tax people came over one day to him and said, what are all these shipments for $10,000 worth of prints that you're receiving every few weeks? Please explain how this is, and you're not describing any income, etc., for this. So we had to stop doing that because, of course, this was not income for Jed. But the FedEx invoice is from Mokuhankan to our American friend selling $10,000 worth of woodblock prints. That person is theoretically buying the prints from us. Now that's a lie. The invoice is fake. It's just to get it through customs to pay their duty. We're actually selling the prints to the 100 separate people. So this is not as simple as it sounds. And Jed Sand didn't get in trouble. They said, oh, I see, because of Corona. Okay. And they let it go. But he did get a visit from the tax people. So before you put up your hand and you say, I'd like to do this to help Dave and Mokuhankan, but clearly this is, from Mokuhankan's point of view, this is our only solution. One, bulk shipment through FedEx and or DHL to America, paying the tariff on the whole value of the thing. So the US government's happy with it. But then opening the box and putting on 100 shipping labels for USPS and putting them into the USPS system, for which of course we will pay for, of course, plus time, plus extra, whatever. So there's not so many people out there who might be able to do this for us. So, but that's my only solution. We can't send 100 prints separately, each one with an $80 surcharge. It's just, that's it. That's our business model is finished, and it's goodbye and thanks for all the fish. For our US customers. Does the rectangle get embossed on the print, or is it just the lettering? No, it's just the letters. Come on, focus, focus. Can we see it there? Just the lettering. So I'm saying, do we also have to pay Japanese taxes? There's no Japanese taxes involved in any of this transaction at all. The only Japanese taxes involved in any of this are for people who live in Japan. They pay a Japanese consumption tax. There's no tariff of any kind. Someone said, have you decided on a vermilion stamp placement? Oh, look at this. This doesn't have that yet. I guess at the time we sent Chiharu-san the blocks, we hadn't decided on that. So yeah, I've got some carving to do this morning. After I do the embossing, I've got to grab the blocks, find one that has an empty space at the bottom. I thought we did that. I'm sure I did that. Did she forget to put it in? Are we well organized or what? I'm sure I got this embossed stamp ready. There's a space, we've got room for it, so no problem there. It looks like I have some carving to do this morning. It looks like I've got some work to do. No, look at that, we don't. I guess in all the confusion and chaos and all the other stuff going on, I didn't do it. Whoever reminded me about that, take your chocolate egg, please. Thank you very much. I don't like you. Better that I find out right now than after we ship them. Thank you. Oh, yo, 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 yo. More work. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We've just fallen now so far behind everything that it's just, I don't even, whatever. I don't lose any sleep over this now. Nothing. Just, it's, we do what we can do, catch what I can catch. It's like a juggler with 1,000 eggs. The floor around me, it looks like omelet soup. Just whatever. I'm dropping so many eggs. If I catch one or catch two, I'm happy. The rest just whatever. I don't lose any sleep over it anymore. Ishikawa-san, この板に落款がまだ彫ってないんです。 楽観が入ってない。
ああ、入ってないの。これから楽観するんですね。
そうだから手で押すこともできますが、もう同じ時間で掘れますから。
ああ、やってやって。
で僕掘って
ああ、そうだね
入れますから。
で、抜くんですね、じゃあそこ。
うん。
うん。
いや抜くその上
上から。
中。
ああ、
そう
もう上ね。
そう
はい、よかった。
Well, some saying we can blame the late prints on the tariff confusion. Today's the 28th. This print is due to be shipped on the 1st of September. And I understand there's no way. US customers at the moment are paused. We don't have a way to get them to the US. The only possible way at the moment to ship this to the US is one by one via DHL or FedEx. $80 plus tariffs plus service charge cost way over $120 to get it to you. So at the moment, US customers are toast. We're paused. Ayano-san is when she gets to work this morning, she's already started downstairs. She's turning off subscriptions, pausing subscriptions, I think, for all of our US customers. There's one possible chance. The post office may be still accepting airmail for the US. Now, if that's the case, no goods, no tariffs, just a letter. Our prints are small enough. They go in a flat, white envelope. If we can get away with calling them letters, then we can send on September the 1st. So this is Ayano-san and I will be visiting the post office this morning with a sample. Now it's dicey because they know what we're doing. The people at the post office counter know that when we bring them this sample, they know that what's inside is not a letter. Now, at the American end, when it's received, nobody would know. But if the Japanese postal clerks here, they know us very well. If they say, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, let's try it. If they agree to this, then we're good to go. But if they say, sorry, we know what's in there because we know your business, then that's it. So American customers will be simply all on pause. And again, people are talking about the exceptions, etc., etc. It seems that all the old rules, publications, movies, CDs, all those things that you're finding, those rules seem to be now cancelled. But we haven't got confirmation of that yet. Is there a second post office that we can try? I mean, take it to a different district office, of course. Send him to Canada. That's even worse because Canadian duties and sales taxes are higher. Doesn't help us. Anyway, I don't want to really harp too much about this. At the moment, we're just frozen everything. We are inspecting minute by minute. The key for us will be what the post office allows us to do. We can't make the rules on this. We just have to follow the rules by the organizations around us. Post office, DHL, FedEx. There's nothing else we can do but follow the procedures they establish for us. Okay, as I said, we have video and stuff. What should we do with the timetable here? People who are worried if there's a pause for a few months and then bang, it goes back to normal, what the normal procedure would be is this. People ask us all the time, can we pause our subscription? I'm going on holiday. We just turn off a subscription and pause it. Then when it comes back on, people pick up 1 month, 1 month, 1 month. If after we pick it up 6 months from now, if all the prints are ready, people can have an option. It'll be get all 6 in one shipment or just go month by month by month. We don't force anybody or tell anybody what to do. It will all be up to you. We're going to pause this right now. That's not your choice. That's our choice. check the correct title. Yes, this is the correct title. We've got the proper carver and the proper printer. This is the second to the last print that will have this carver's name on. This is carved by Kawasaki-san. And it's difficult to get this to show if I put my finger. Hori Kawasaki Suri Kawai Chiharu. Kawasaki-san carved this one, which is number 8 in the series. She also carved number 10. Number 9 and 11 are being done by Taran-san. And number 12 should have been carved by Kawasaki-san, but as we mentioned in a stream a week or so ago, a couple of weeks ago, she has left our employment. She won't be doing any more carving for us. So number 12, the last print in this series, will be done by our carver from Hong Kong, Chon-san. He's done the recent prints in the 8 Views of Cats series. So he'll be taking a break from that work to do number 12 in this series. And there won't be any more prints coming from Kawasaki-san. Let me just check with Ishikawa-san, see what she's doing. Hang on a sec. Cutting this paper, is it okay?だからさっき長い方を取って残ってください。そうそうそうそう。How many times a day do I need to use my Hanko stamp, Serge? Do you mean like when I go to the bank or something? I can't remember the last time I used it. These days, 0. In a previous life, I know if you go back 20 years, 30 years, every day, of course, anytime I went to the post office, if I'm receiving money, sending money, making a payment for a phone bill or whatever, it was a regular occurrence. You couldn't go to the post office without the Hanko in your pocket. But now, I can't remember the last time I used it, ever. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. If you buy property, that's a different thing. I know Serge is asking about the Hanko, the daily Hanko you have. Like when you as I said, when you send money at the post office in the old days, you needed your daily Hanko. Hanko is not just a single thing. You've got a few of them. You've got the daily one that is your official one for sending money at the bank or things like this. It's semi-official, semi-casual. There's another kind of Hanko. We used to have 3 or 4 of them. That was the daily one for daily use, for money things. There was a daily throwaway Hanko. You keep it at the front door, your genkan, because the post office guy or the package delivery, the takibin man, he wants to know you've got the package, and they wouldn't take signatures. This is 20, 25, 30 years ago. So you keep a Hanko just at the front door. It doesn't matter what it says. Oh, you stamp it, he's got it, he's happy, you're happy, it's all done. It's not legal, but it's what's there. And you don't want to keep your bank account Hanko at the front door. So we have a throwaway Hanko. Again, this is gone now. They don't do this anymore. They don't ask for that. If he's got some kind of registered package, he says Hanko ka sign, and I don't have a pen. He gives you a pen, you scribble something, he goes away. He's happy. The other level, somebody's saying when you buy a house, this is what's called a jitsuin. You have to have for legal stuff now. This is the big one, buying a house, maybe borrowing $1 million or whatever. I don't even know what else it could be used for. Buying a house is the big one. You have your registered seal. And there's rules. It's got to be a certain type of pattern, got to fit a certain type of size. You take the seal, you go to City Hall, they impress it, they study it, they approve it, they take a few copies of it, you pay a fee, they keep a copy. This is your registered seal. And you then go and use it for your mortgage application and for the transfer deed and stuff like that. That's the jitsu-in. We all have one of those. If you've done that kind of transfer, you know, I had to use mine when I bought my house. When I set up the company, I needed it as personally for the incorporation documents. The company, of course, had its own seals. It's got its own. The company has its own registered corporate seal, which would never be used for anything else except the shareholder changes and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, long answer to a very short question. Serge, I think Serge is interested in business and stuff. Serge is a businessman, and he's interested in this Hanko question. But in daily life now, we never see them anymore. It used to be essential, but now, as I said, for typical daily activities, I can't remember when I last saw my Hanko. There's also the ringi type of Hanko. If you're working in a company or an organization, and you know the deal. I've never been in such an environment, but you're a middle manager in a corporation, Toyota, whatever. You've got an inbox and stuff has come into your inbox and you've got to read it, put your stamp on and send it to the next person's inbox. The ringi system, where things go round and it needs the approval of everybody involved. And that will be a different Hanko. The guy will just have it on his desk. It'll say Tanaka or whatever his name is. We don't have a ringi system here at Mokuhankan. Although, actually, yesterday, the staff had a meeting. The staff had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. They went out and had a meeting. And I think some of them are waiting now downstairs. And when I've finished this stream and when I've finished my work, they will want to talk to me. Dave, yesterday we had a meeting. Can we talk, please? What? Someone says, I shouldn't be telling you this, but I mean, I do not care. I do not care. What's the joke? They want to get unionized. If that's what it's about, this company closes tomorrow. Whatever. That's not a joke. It's not possible. The place isn't big enough, but whatever. It's 8:45. Let's look at some video. Let me wake up the hard drive so that the video doesn't stutter when we start playing it. Just a sec. Wake up the hard drive. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Yes, buzz, 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 buzz. Renders, Washi. Yep, okay, the hard drive is not spinning. I have 2 or 3 little short videos to show you. They're sort of just in random order here. Let's show these. As I said, for those of you who don't know what's going on, the last Monday stream was cancelled because Sadako and I took a trip up to Murata-san's place. As I warned before, it was really, it wasn't a paper making trip. She didn't touch her tools while we were up there. It was business, 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 talking about paper thickness, paper size, paper plan, apprentices, the workshop, a million different things, most of which it's not suitable for the conversation here. But I did take a few video clips. She picked us up at the hotel in the morning. She's really polite. The hotel actually is on the way to her workshop from where she lives. So it's become sort of a habit that when we do make these visits, she says, can I pick you up in the morning? And of course, we say yes. But then in the car on the way to her workshop, she always says the same thing too. Before we go to the workshop, shall we stop by at the shrine? And we did. Let's see. Let me turn off the outside camera for a second here. Actually, we may not need to. Just a minute, 1 second. Video should play here now. Plugged in, just a sec. Browse. It's turned on, 340, open, and play. Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? I can't restart the computer here, which is usually what needs to happen. I can't restart the stream. Come on, OBS, do this thing for me. There's the video. Browse. You played back during warm-up time. Play. Okay. Outside camera, turn off the audio from outside. No, I know exactly. I tried it before we started this morning, and it was all hooked, all worked. The hard drive has gone to sleep, and the hard drive has woken up, but OBS hasn't kicked it in. And the way to fix this is to restart OBS, which means breaking our stream. Come on, can we do this without breaking the stream? Can we do this without restarting? I'm just doing that now. Edit the source and reselect. I'm doing it just a second. I'm making it into a new file. I'm going to change the file name. I'm going to change the file name. Reselect the source. Are we smart or are we smart collectively? We are at the main shrine in the paper-making village. It's Otaki Jinja, sometimes called Okamoto Jinja. One of the most unique, interesting shrines in the country. It's about 1,500 years old. That's Murata-san on the right and Sadako on the left. It's an incredible, incredible, incredible place. Okay, we've got some short clips. I'll have to do the same thing with the next one. We'll get closer to the shrine, just a sec. I've got to find out what the file name is. Sorry, just a second. It's number 436. My apologies for this. Excuse me just a sec. 436, add an X to the file name. Sorry about this. This is the shrine building itself. The roof is astonishing. It's absolutely unique to this country. Nobody can really explain why they did it in such an insanely complicated and difficult way. Now, let me pause this here for a second. The shrine roof is actually ready for fixing. It's rotten. In many, many places, the bark that's up there is, the water's dripping inside the shrine. It's really, really ready for a replacement. They've had the money ready for this for years. They collected money. Well, after you're doing one replacement, you start collecting money for the next replacement, which is 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. The money's in place. They haven't been able to book enough people who have competence at fixing this roof. But I was told on this last visit that it has now been decided. A couple of months from now, the shrine here will be shrouded in the winter protection, which happens every winter. And next spring, probably in March, maybe April, when the spring comes and the winter protection comes down, that's when the fixing work will take place. Expected to take about 2 years. And they're going to not rebuild the whole structure, they're going to rip off all the decayed bark from all the different levels of that complicated roof and replace it with new, I guess it's cedar bark or hinoki bark or whatever. But the shrine will be shrouded in place for a couple of years. Okay, those 2 video clips were the background. This next one is now different. We are now going to go into Murata-san's workshop, or Murata-san's neighbor's workshop, and see something interesting. One sec, let me find the video. I'm going to rename it again. What's the name? It's number 446. Just a second. Add an X to the end of the file name. Aren't computers wonderful? Let's browse again. Find the new file name. Open it. Okay, and play it. Now, we're 2 doors down from Murata-san's place. That's her on the right, and the lady has just almost completed a brand new suit. It's a bamboo screen, of course, for making and walking paper. And it has been a generation or so since she has made one of these previously. Someone says the video's a bit loud, okay? Whatever, I'll turn it down. This is it's a once in a generation thing to see this, and she's going to be making 2 of these. The next one she'll be starting soon, and I'm going to be getting up there with my camera. I don't live in a neighborhood. We can't show and document the entire total process of her making this, but we'll get a whole good bunch of video of one of these things being made for Murata-san. It's all made of extremely finely, delicately woven strips of bamboo, some of which she has sourced new and some of which she has sourced from an old screen. She's taken apart an old one and will be using some of the parts to make this new one. It's really, really, really cool. And for the chance for me to be able to see how this is done and to see what's going on, I'm really, really happy. I can't wait to get up there with my video camera. Now the next one is something different again. Just a sec, let me tee it up. 449. The next one I didn't know was happening. And in fact, this is something that came up for Murata-san since we were last there. One sec, let me get the video. This one is about wood. Not wood for making wood blocks, wood for drying the paper. You saw this sort of thing in the last video, and here on the right, this lumber guy, Tanaka-san, has found some old drying boards from a paper making workshop. And these are icho trees. This is a ginkgo tree, and they are in fabulous condition, beautifully smooth, and they are all one piece, left to right, with no splits. Extremely, extremely rare. This is an absolute gold mine. They're not directly usable right now by Murata-san because they don't have the metal strippings on the edge, which would allow them. There's one that does, but most of them don't have the metal strippings on the edge, that allows them to slide into her closet. These were used outside. I think it's called tempi boshi. Put the paper on and put it outside for drying. Now, I gestured Murata-san to come over, and we had a little mini interview, but I can't actually hear the audio here, so I can't translate at the moment for you. I'm sorry. I can't hear what she's saying. I don't have my microphone headphones on to do monitoring.
そうですね。さっきの財務家さんから聞いたんですから、これも50
Anybody that can hear what she's saying, please feel free to interpret for us. I can't hear her audio.
でもそんなに古いと使える ?50 年経っても。
使えそうじゃないですか。見たことと。多分お手入れしてもらって、新たな。
イチョウといえば何が一番大事ですか？なぜイチョウがいいですか？
あ、私？
他の材料と比べると、なぜイチョウの木が？
他の木を私使ったことないですけど、やっぱりこのスムースがいいじゃないですか。
はい、表面。でもどの木でも削ることができますから、なぜイチョウが特別ですか？
私が聞いてるのは、濡れた紙を貼るので、水分を吸う。で、乾燥に持つんです。で、明朝がいいって聞いてます。
僕、今、珍しいことと言いますが、本当に今、右から下まで、もうワンピースでしょ？慌てないでしょ？その幅が広い木がすごい珍しいでしょ？
今まで使われてなかった。
そう、使わないともったいないでしょ？そう。
I don't remember the conversation enough to be able to tell you what we're saying. I was asking her a couple of things about why icho, why is it ginkgo trees that are used for this? And she really didn't know herself. And then, the other thing too, the camera here, this is my Pocket 3. And look what the camera has done here, shooting in a dark room against a bright outside door, and the camera has still brought Murata-san into a light balance instead of just leaving her as a black shadow. I'm very, very, very happy with that Osmo Pocket 3. Fabulous tool. Fabulous. Okay, there are today's video clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put the outside camera back up. So the teas then, I will be getting up there. She said the scheduling will be happening in somewhere in maybe mid-September. The lady will be ready with the work on the next screen she's making, and I will get 1 day or 2 days up there. I'm going to park in her room and just get as much good video as I can. So the 4th video in the Adventures in Washi series is pretty much certainly going to be about making one of these screens. She's working with 2 people. The lady you saw who is doing all the weaving, it's like making what they call kumihimo, you know, when they're doing braiding in Japanese. Whatever, we'll make a video about this. So she's working with that lady to make the screen itself. Then she's working with a carpenter type person in town. Somebody who would normally make things like shoji screens or fusuma doors, light furniture, things like that. I forget what they call this guy. Oh my god, a basic kind of carpenter in Japan. I forget. Somebody can help me. What's the guy? The guy who makes shoji screens. Ishikawa-san, shoji toka tsukuru, shoji tsukuru shokunin to ieba, tatekiじゃなくて、なんていう職人ですか？障子などを作る職人。
障子を作る職人？
なんて言いますか？
特別
You know, she doesn't remember. Whatever, it's a thing. 建具屋さんじゃない。刺し物じゃない。
難しいこと言うね。
I can't remember. Listen, she doesn't remember either, so I'm off the hook. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Anyway, there's a guy in town who does this. He used to make all the screens for the paper makers all over town, but he hasn't had a job like that in years. So he's now making, you know, regular furniture and regular screens and stuff like that. So, whatever. Anyway, he's happy. That thing is almost finished. I won't have full video of that, but it's there. So we're going to have good fun with this. We're going to have good fun. Nobody can remember. Hyogo-shi. Hyogu-shi. Nai. No. Hyogu is the guy who does scroll mounting, I think, and scroll backing. Sadako's got this name, Hyogushi. Sadako, surely, no. Hyogu is scroll mounting. We're talking about a guy who makes wood joints. Sashimono janai. It begins with an S. Tateguya-san janai. Okay, anyway, I'll remember it or I won't remember it. Nantoka mono, sashimono? I wonder if it's sashimono. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. The name came up in our conversation, of course. I'm losing it. I don't know. Has Murata-san's tategushi, that's a Tateguya-san, that's the one I was thinking. Tateguya ka sashimono-ya ka. I think there's another word in there somewhere that we're missing. I don't know, I'm sorry. Sashimono-shi. Someone's asking, the paper thickness mystery, has this been solved? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. What part has been solved is this. I took paper up, I took my measuring device up, and the two of us stood there, and all the different types of piece of paper I took, mine says 24, hers says 24. Our measuring tools do line up. How we are measuring is also lining up, almost. Her measuring tool has a deeper throat, and it can go farther inside the paper than mine does. So my measuring tool is stuck a little bit towards the edge of the paper, which is sometimes thicker. But that's not a factor. The nearest explanation I can find for what we found, that when I got her paper, it said 24 on the sheet, the invoice said 24, I measured it, and we were getting 28, 30, 32. Panicking a little bit. This was weeks ago, a couple months ago, when the box arrived. The other day, in preparation for taking this trip, I opened those boxes, brought out different sheets from all the different types of paper that we've received from her, and took them up there. And as we stood there side by side, I'm picking up the sheet and thinking, it doesn't actually feel quite so thick anymore. Measuring it 24, she says 24. And she looks at me like, Dave, like, what's the issue here? Because her numbers are matching my numbers. And it really is still a mystery. When that box arrived, the paper felt very much thicker. Not just me, all of our printers. Oh my God, what are we going to do? But now it's back to normal. And now it's the dampest part of year. If anything, now that it's damp, the paper would absorb moisture and swell. But it's the other way round. It arrived here months ago. Now it's moist and we're waving the paper around. When I was in her workshop, it was like 34, 5 degrees there. It's hot and moist. It's backwards from what we would expect. And Dave's pet theory here, this is totally unscientific. This is anecdotal, first rough theory, maybe what's going on. It's related to the neri that she is using. She has used, inside the bucket, there's the kozo fiber, the mulberry fiber. There's water, no yeast. We're not making bread here, but the fiber goes in, water goes in, and then what's called a formation agent goes in. You saw it in the video. It's a gloopy, thinny, strandy stuff called neri, which helps the fibers float and not sink to the bottom. So that as she's forming the paper, the fibers form a smooth mat. All the paper makers tell us that the neri disappears with the water, but there's no way that goopy, sticky stuff is going to leave that sheet. It's in there. They get drained, they get pressed. The paper is now made of mulberry, the water's gone, but some of the formation agent is left there. There's a bonding that's happening. And Dave's pet theory is it bonds. dries, there's your sheet of paper. But over the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, that stuff tightens up. And the sheet maybe gets a tiny bit smaller and definitely gets a tiny bit smaller this way. This is my little pet theory. And we are now going to test this out more. The idea is now, I think, her paper, the particular combination of mulberry and netty that she's using, it tightens up and shrinks as a couple of months go by. And we're now going to test this and measure it. The next batch of paper that comes, she's going to measure it before shipping it. I'm going to measure it the minute I get it. We're going to measure it the day later. We're going to measure it a day later. We're going to watch this paper like a hawk, day by day by day by day by day as we get this, and watch what happens. But if that's the case, that's David's pet theory, but the unexplained factor is then, but when she made it, she said it was 24. But when I received it, it was 30. So the theory doesn't really work. If she had measured it and lied to me and it was really 30, knowing that it would become 24 later, then it would be a thing. But that's not what she said. She said, I measured this was 24. That's what I wrote on the invoice. That's what I wrote on the package. I sent 24. And we got 30. You know, that's like the day after she sent it. So it doesn't add up. But so far, anecdotal. From now on, real data. We are going to measure, measure, measure. Okay, what's our schedule? It's Thursday, it's 9:07. There won't be anybody coming up. Sadako won't be visiting until Saturday. So I just have to keep working. Now, the next topic is going to be show and tell. We have a show and tell with a backstory. And I should have prepared a link, but I didn't. Oh my God. Give me 1 second to try and find a link for you. Sorry about this. Today was absolute chaos, trying to do the swimming and everything else. I'm going to find a link for you. Going back to my newsletter, and we're going back in time now. Here we are. We're going back in time to 1997. Here's a link for those of you who are on a computer that can look at this at the same time that our stream is going. This is a link to a story in my newsletter from 1997. My God, 28 years ago. And today's show and tell is related to the man we see in that visit. He's long, long, long dead. He's been dead for, 20 years or so. Well, someone saying, what about the measuring tools? The other day, Murata-san and I stood side by side with our respective measuring tools. We measured bits of paper, and the numbers came up the same. Her tool and my tool are giving the same numbers. Hers is a dial indicator. She's got a tool with a dial at the top and a clamp. You pinch and the thing opens and opens and closes. You put the paper in, she pinches to put the paper in, lets go, and the spring tension touches and the dial shows. And I've got an actual micrometer caliper, which is not the best tool to use for washi paper, but they worked side by side with the same results. So I'm stumped. I've never heard anything like this before. And it could be, the reason Dave is thinking that it could be the neri is because Murata-san at the moment is struggling / experimenting with what kind of neri to use. Neri is very mysterious. It's very difficult. She's setting up her own workshop. She doesn't have a stable source of this. And I'm thinking that she used a bit of experimental stuff in there without really clarifying me what she was doing. And I think the stuff she has used has caused this shrinkage. But I don't know. We're just going to see. We're just going to see how it goes. A 24 to 30, yeah, more than 30. Some were 32. There were 28s, 30s, 32s. There was stuff all over that place. And it was the feel. All the printers, we touched it and said, oh my God. And yet now, the paper that Ishikawa-san is cutting this morning is from that same batch, and she's not panicking, you know. Did I find out the name of my shop teacher? No, I'm sorry. I know people did send links. I went to a link to a yearbook. It was Kelvin School 1961, which was 3 years or so before I was there. And it had a double page spread that said Kelvin School faculty, I think was the word it said. And I looked through it and nothing rang a bell. And I think when we were telling that story the other day, I said, this guy was so impressive to me that I'm sure I'll remember his name as soon as I can see it. Just maybe that's not true. I don't know. So I'm sorry. I know it could be that he wasn't there in 1961, or simply I'm just not going to be able to remember this even when prompted with the name. I'm sorry. I don't know. So thank you for those of you who did spend time on that. I haven't spent any more time on it. I'm sorry. I know. Can't get the angle of the light right. The print overall, I guess we should show it again. Here's the print overall. There's 210 copies in this package. To our European customers, these will be shipped on September the 1st. To our American customers, they're going to go in storage for a while. And this is what? This is number 8. Excuse me. We're now 2/3 of the way through our series. I can't believe it, 8. The next 4, carving is done. Number 9 is carved. Chiharu-san has the blocks. Number 10 is carved. The blocks are on my bench downstairs waiting for a look-see. Number 11, Taran-san is carving as we speak. It's the black hole image. Number 12, Chon-san is at the moment, he has just started carving the key block. Meow. And that'll do our series. Someone's got another Kelvin yearbook. Okay, thank you. Remember too, Kelvin wasn't my school. I went to Gordon Bell. Most of my teachers would have been at Gordon Bell. I only went to Kelvin every couple of weeks because my school, Gordon Bell, didn't have a shop. So I went to Kelvin for shop class. So it's no good looking for me in those yearbooks. I wasn't in Kelvin. And I didn't graduate from Gordon Bell. Now it's interesting, now I think about it. I went there partway through grade 9. No, what did I do? Let me think about this. We moved in the summer, so I did grade 9 at Gordon Bell, and I started grade 10 at Gordon Bell. And then partway through the year, we did another of our family moves. And I was ripped out of school, and we got in the car and drove to BC. So would I be in the Gordon Bell yearbook? Grade 9 kids probably wouldn't get in there. And grade 10, I was a dropout. I was taken out of school. So I didn't graduate from one of those schools. I have no yearbooks. I don't have any documentation from my school years. I have no yearbooks. My own high school graduation would have been in 1968, 68, from a place called Delta Secondary School in Ladner, British Columbia, Canada. I can't even remember what date. And I made it. I actually graduated. I got out of there. I would have had like a 51% average or something like that. Or not 49, but the teachers were helpful. They wanted to see me just get out of there. So my average was probably 50.9999999 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I know. You look for the shop teacher. I know. Thank you. Just to clarify, that's all.どうする具合は？
はい、大丈夫です。綺麗。うん。
何枚取ってますか？
84。
OK, thank you. じゃあ残りは千春さん。
はいはい。
OK。Someone says, how's the Neko series? I know 2 of them are in the shop. 2 of them are out of print. I mean out of stock. We don't have any copies of them. Number 5 is at the moment it's being design edited. It's in the design editing stage. Number 5. Number 6, we have a prospective design in hand. Not quite sure if it's ready for prime time. Not quite sure. And 7 and 8 are completely unthought of yet. And that would be returning sales and clearing weather, I guess. I'm not quite sure. Oh, show and tell, what am I doing? You guys, you're supposed to remind me. Jeez. You're supposed to remind me. Do your job, do your job, do your job, do your job, do your job. Camera out. Oh no, a knife. This thing will need the knife. Can I reach it? Yes. Package. Can I reach it? Yes. Let's get rid of the outside camera. Let's shrink mine. Start your counting engines. Okay, nothing nice about this. Just get in here. Place your bets. Cardboard layer gone. Plastic wrapping gone. Now it's a question of definition. Oh, okay, I think that's it. I think the count was 2, because this object, we have a label, and this is the name now. This is, I don't know how to pronounce this. Kidatsu. Sadako is out there, she knows how to do this. So this is the product that I bought. This is the box containing the print. So counting your labels, I think you're down to 2. Let's have a look. Oh, ごめんね。いろいろゴミが多いですね。関健二さんとご存知ですか？八王子に住んでる釣り師の方、関健二、横井工房でLook at this. Okay, here's the overall. Hold the camera. Can I see? 向こうが。釣り師が作った作品です。ちょっと英語でみんなが分かるように。Okay. The guy's name, Seki Kenji. He was a printer. He lived in Hachioji. He was Top Gun printer. Top Gun. He helped me a lot back in the late 1980s and early 1990s. And he was really, really, really good. Beefy guy, big, heavy. He's the guy we talked about before. When he was printing, he had a taco, a bump, a callus on his palm, about 1 centimeter high, and like a round button. And it was on his heel of his hand here, with his barrel. This was one big, powerful man. He was an orphan. He was thrown into a Catholic orphanage as a baby, and they sent him to a printmaking workshop in his early teens, the Yokoi workshop, the best workshop in town at that time. He drank it all up, became a really Superman printer, and then he screwed up his career. He was one of the main printers for the Doi Hanga company. They would send him the woodblocks for a Hasui print or a Chiakoitsu print or whatever. They send him 100 sheets of paper. He does the job, bang, 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 beautifully. Sends them back the 100 sheets. Excuse me. But what he also did, he put in an extra 50 sheets or 40 sheets or 30 sheets, printed it, and didn't tell him, and he sold those on the side. So this was, of course, completely unethical and almost certainly completely illegal. He was doing a job for them, really happily, all okay. And the reason I can tell this story is because this is all open. One day, what he was doing was, he was doing what's called Jitsuen Hanbai. Jitsuen was demonstration, Hanbai is sale. Up on the 7th floor of Takashima department store, whatever. He's got his prints around him, he's selling stuff, he's showing printing and doing stuff, and he's up there doing this demonstration and sale, and along comes walking as a customer at the department store, the lady who runs Doi Hanga. Seki-san, hi, how you doing? Wow, look at all this. And he's like, he must have, I wasn't there, but he must have like, hello. Because after 1 minute, she sees arrayed all around him a whole array of her company's woodblock prints. Which she's like, well, of course, she's not stupid. She puts one and one together, makes two, and she realizes what he's been doing. I don't know what happened next. She ran to the police or whatever. I don't know any of that part of the background because she won't tell me and he won't tell me. But that was the end of his career as a printer for hire. Because that's it. Nobody would ever trust him again. So he was, ostracized by the printmaking community. This happened in the mid-1990s, maybe 1994, 1995, somewhere around that. So all of a sudden you got this guy who was a Top Gun printer, absolutely Top Gun printer, and nobody will send him work. So what do? So he gets some plywood and draws a mountain shape. Did you follow that link that I sent you a while ago? The picture that's on there? He started making prints like that. Is there much artistic value in it? I don't know. What he did was he got plywood and carved shapes in it that he knew with his incredible printing ability, he could print and make into beautiful objects. Did he actually draw all these leaves? Did he take a photograph and put it together? I don't have any idea. But he started making prints like this and built a career selling them at those same kind of jitsen hanbai in the department stores. He put an edition number, he's signed it Kei Seki, Kenji Seki, and he's entitled it, I can't remember actually what the title is here. Ishikawa-san, what's the name? Hayashi じゃなくて、Mori じゃなくて、木立つでしょ？一つの漢字じゃない、二つの漢字でしょ？
何？木立？
木立？Yeah, so 木立でしょ？ I think Sadako's also watching. She remembers it. 前一つの漢字と思ったんですが、two characters, right? I don't know the English translation. When you put the character for tree by itself, it means tree. When you put two of them side by side, built into one character, it's hayashi, a copse, group of trees. When you put three, the character for tree, three times together in one character, this is mori, or forest. So it's tree, copse, forest. This is different. This is tree standing. Kidachi, kodachi. Kodachi. And I guess it just means scenery with trees, whatever. It's not a specific group or bundle of trees, whatever. Someone's saying, have I tried to call him? No, he's dead. He died, when would he die? Early 2000s. He was on his way back from one of these events on a motorbike, and maybe, I don't know, maybe he'd had a little bit. He ran his motorbike full speed into the back of a parked car, a couple of doors down from his own home. Must have been late at night. He's coming home, tired after a day's stuff, and that was the end of his life. Run straight into the back of a parked car. He was a bit of a complex person. He was a good man to me. He gave me lots of hints. He did so because of his own ego. It was all full of, look how good I am. I can deliver these crumbs to this foreigner. So it was a little bit that way. He was just, like, he'd do things like, he and I together, we went to LA together to do a double exhibition at the Japan Expo in LA. This would have been 1997 or something like this. I don't remember. 1994, I think we did this. The Expo Japan in LA flew us over. They put him on one side, put me on the other side. The master and his apprentice. That wasn't true, but whatever. And he sat there printing at his side with a mastery, and I sat there printing at my side, pretending to do what I could do. And he showed off. It was like, you know the deals where you go to these fake Japanese restaurants in an American hotel and the guy's got the chef's hat and there's flames and he takes his knife and he throws it up and he catches it and slices all the meat, this kind of stuff. Seki-san did his printing at this demo just like that. And he literally did that. He'd take his brush, throw it up in the air, catch it, flip it over and do the backwards gradation at the same time. He was just a super character, totally full of but a really, really competent guy. No, he was he my age? Maybe my age, I guess. I don't know. Somewhere around there. Maybe my age. His son did printing, and his son apparently is still doing this. There's a Facebook page in his son's name, says, Seki, I forget what the young man's name, Seki Nani Nani as a printer. We have tried to call him. We've tried to get in touch because there's tools and pigments and maybe even a printer over there. But the prints he shows on his Facebook page are nothing to write home about. So anyway, that's the story. So last week on Yahoo Auctions, this print came up by the famous Shinhanga artist Kenji Seki. This was the Yahoo auction. It was for, here's a sheet of paper. It was billed at 8,000 yen. Only one bidder, nobody else wanted this, but Dave, oh my God, memories of Seki-san, the guy who helped me so much. I couldn't resist grabbing this. So we'll take this and we'll get rid of the frame and we'll put the print into our collection. It's kind of worthless. He's an unknown artist. There's no name value, and here in Japan it's all about name value. But there it is, a print put together by a guy with no artistic skill whatsoever, just like me, but good printing skill. And I guess he made a living doing this sort of stuff. So watch out for these. There's trees like this, and some of them have distant mountains with more distant and more distant and more distant. Because if it's something else this guy was good at, it was printing gradations on large pieces of plywood. I'm very happy to get this. Good memories for Dave here. Good memories. Okay, here we are. This is Thursday. Next stream will be Saturday morning, 2 days from now, and you know the story. I will be printing. I will be printing. Let's put up the outside camera. I've got so much to do now. I've got to finish this embossing. I might pass it to her because I've got to carve that red duck gun and print that, and these have to go to Ome today. So maybe I'll ask for some help. Thanks again. See you on Saturday morning. Ninja's setting up. That's the little boy from the Korean hot dog place setting up their illegal chairs. Quiet Thursday morning. I read in my newspaper this morning before the pool that yesterday Tokyo set a new record that for 10 days in a row the temperature didn't go below 35 or something like this, whatever. And it's a new terrible record for us as far as high temperatures go. I think it's going to break today. I think there's some rain coming, maybe this afternoon, not sure. I didn't read the weather forecast. But yeah, same as many places, we've been setting new records. Okay guys, thanks so much. See you in a couple of days. Thanks for watching. 3, 2, 1, bye for now.